without stone. It's the same soil like Hans Jenny. But in Steingraben you see that there is a lot of gravel, a lot of stone mixed in the less. So this is one of the 2 Riesling vineyards on the mountain because there is no stone. Riesling Wieland is a bit different. Wieland is plus, but only a little, and then a lot of rocks, so not gravel, but really stones like these right under the surface. So this is more gravel, Wieland is more rock. And then in between is Spiegel, where there's so much less that the roots hardly touch the stone anymore. And then the last Premier Cru is a Boffas, which is Moosburgerin. It's similar to Spiegel, more sun, drier.
ここは何だってリースリングのリースリング
Steingraben.
あ、はい
シュタイン
スタイングレール現場ですとじゃあ小石
シュタイングレーベン畑ね。小石があるよ、小石が。
レスマーテルのとこと同じレス
と
この小石同じリーラントさっき通り過ぎたところのリースリングの方はもうこんな感じ。Because of it's first time to visit your area, and very surprised to very different here, and also the sector maybe because of the terrace like that.
The local name for this formation is Kaiserstiege, which means the steps of the emperor. Because the terraces are so big. But when it comes to the terroir, it's very similar to Hans Jenny, but we just are higher and with more less. But the formation is similar. It's only if you would classify the regions by terroir, Hans and we should be in the same, but there's political border, so it's 2 regions. But it's geologically he's the extension of our formation.
Okay.
Where it gets a little narrow. It's now very beautiful because it rained last week, so the green is very fresh. And within 1 week we went from like this to within a couple of days, and now last week it was still the vineyard work was still fun, and this week it's stress because in a very short period. But here we didn't do any work yet.
Yeah.
We normally start with the Grüner Veltliner and then we continue with the other things.
すごいね、ここは石が
石が
ちっちゃい石が。
リースリングのビートバンド飲んだ時なんかすんげえうまっと思ったからなんで値段が
in the medieval times for boats on the Danube, so they knew where it was, and now it's just a relic. But once every 5 years, the children in our village repaint it white, so that you can see it from the Danube, but it's only.
別に子供たちが 塗ってるんだって。
あれね。
白い石じゃない。
And I'll show you Spiegel and Wieland.
Ah, okay.
And then Wieland goes in this direction.
ビラン。
And for example, this is shaped like, it's not straight because the big rocks underneath would have needed to, we couldn't remove them. So, and then you see occasionally the rock coming out. And above is Spiegel. And we'll go into the old Grüne. And Spiegel is big too, big here. And then these terraces are also called locally Altmantel, which means a small old man, but in a cute kind of way. These are our oldest vineyards. When my grandfather more or less started with the vineyard, all the Grüne Veltliner we plant is a selection Massai from this vineyard. So this is our all. The top is also ours. We are the biggest owner in Spiegel, but the top is the young plantings, and these are the really old ones. And my grandfather was a very innovative man. So before it was 14 different terraces, and he combined it to only 2 big ones. And back then, 60, 70 years ago, it was like the big thing in the village that you can even make such big terraces. And then, slowly the terraces just keep getting bigger and bigger as the machines get bigger and bigger.
ここはセレクションマサールなんだ。これはグリューナーベルトリーナーシュピーゲルみたいなピーゲロンみたいな。はい、それそれ。
So Grüne Veltliner, we only use our own clone and everything from here. We only have 1 or 2 vineyards where we have planted clones of good friends from friendly wineries. And our vineyards are always marked with these.
The bouquet.
The bouquets. My mother, they are blessed in the church, and then my mother brings 1 bouquet for good luck to every field and every vineyard. And it helps our workers to find the vineyards as well. Here we already removed leaves and also cleared out. And in 2 weeks we'll and there you see that the terraces are only less. And then when it goes to Wieland, you see it goes a little down over there. The rest layer is thin, and then the rock. But I show you from underneath, there you can see the stones there.
なんかここはレス見るようにレスだけで、リーラントのリースリングが植わってる方に行くと石。
石が。
すごいねこのテラス。そういえば
ね、ここはすごい。顕著になんか。お、すごい柔らかい。柔らかい。
なんか耕したばっかり。
ああ、そうなんだ。固くしちゃってる。
Now we have a machine that cuts underneath the grass. The idea is to remove the water competition, but not open the soil to erosion. That rain and wind is not taking away the nutrients, so we only try to
just begin wake up.
Yeah, exactly. And then the grass is stopped for 2 or 3 weeks, and then it starts to grow.
Okay.
But it gives, it removes the competition from the water without,
なんかちょっと起こしただけって、あとはもう自然に。
With climate change, we don't have, small rain anymore, but only. So if it rains, there's so much that it's a better idea to leave the soil open. Yeah. Our whole area is now irrigated underground. It's getting, the weather is getting. We were very lucky. Do you want to have coffee before we taste and taste? It's the main reason that we switched color is the new bottle is 10% lighter to be more sustainable. And especially with our markets in the north of Europe, sustainability is very important, and for us as well. And additionally, Agnes liked the new color better, but we wanted the lighter bottle. Ich habe schon eingeschenkt, da beim Vorsitz. Habe ich schon alles eingeschenkt.
What are we starting with?
Jetzt ist ein Fuchs.
Okay.
So Ziesel Fuchs grows on the high plateau, so where we went on the little tower. In this area on top of the mountain, we have 2 vineyards where we produce.
Oh, okay.
This one. There's a little bit more wind, it's a little cooler. The terraces would be hotter, but for Ziesel Fuchs you want the cool, windy vineyards.
Did you tell the story about the labor? So for the labor, for some comparison, the fox, to show the fox. So for this labor, we want to put the focus on our unique habitat, the flora and the fauna, and for our regular labels in the middle, we have the fox and the coat of arms. So this part is for our tradition and the family. And so we took the fox and put it in a modern way here. That stands for our family. And this is the animal, the Ziesel, which is very rare and strictly protected. It only occurs here in this area, in dry, flat lands. And it's from the EU Natura 2000 protection area. And this stands then for our unique flora and fauna. And that's why we combined these two elements and made it look a bit like our coat of arms, but a bit more open, organic, a bit more herbal, but with the same idea.
なんかカバンにもキツネがあって、いやなんかこっちのネズミみたいななんていうのかしら。
It's here.
なんかとてもレアな動物。ここら辺にいる動物なんだ。これが見えるとなんかすごいラッキーなことがある。
And even this is our beginning Grüne Veltliner, our standard Grüne Veltliner, and although it's our medium Grüne Veltliner, it's all 100% hand-picked. Okay. Every grape, and only grapes from our own vineyards. So no matter if it's a high premium Grand Cru, or if it's our standard portfolio, everything from our own vineyards and everything cut by hand. No machine in any wine.
Welche Seite?
The 8th.
Okay, ist vergessen. Ich habe dir auch die kleinen gegeben. Ja, ich habe die. The second one is Lösterrassen. So Lösterrassen is then a blend, a cuvée from different terraces. So it's the only wine which is not from a certain spot, but all over the winery. We have a few dedicated vineyards for Lösterrassen, but often we also use earlier harvests of our premiums. So also Spiegel and Moosburger sometimes have a share of Lösterrassen. The goal is to reflect the typical terroir of the village. So in France this would be a classic appellation village. We also adapted the front label a little bit to have the village have the village on the label to put the focus that this is a village.
And in this case the village is Gedersdorf. So this is a map. This is the oldest map from this region, from the, what's the Kaiser?
The Franz ist das, ne? Kaiser Franz.
So the Kaiser?
Emperor.
The Emperor of Austria already used this map, so it's very old. It's from 1822.
It was made to be able to know exactly how much tax you have to pay.
And we are using still the same historic vineyard sites. And we are right now at the village Brunn im Felde. It means fountain in the fields. So this around is all fields and flat. And everything highlighted in red is vineyards. And here is the village Gedersdorf. And that's the name of the village wines, Appellation Gedersdorf here. And this is now a collection from the vineyards around
And the little tower we visited was right on this corner. And then we went through Wieland, Spiegel, Steingraben. Around here was the little road we took.
So the most prominent, the most opulent or luxurious sites are right in the middle. And here is the top, it's flat again. And here more the cooler...
The Fuchsenzell.
Exactly, yeah, very well done. So this is Fuchsenzell. These are all terraces, so this is also from this area.
And you can see that when they made this map, the Fuchsenzell area was not vineyard but fields, because it's not red, because before climate change it was considered too cold. And now with new climate and new technology, everything on the high plateau is also wine. And on the other side, the vineyards in the flat part all disappeared. So this is now all fields. So a little bit of a shift.
And I think it's interesting to feel the difference that the Lösterrasse wines have much more extract and opulence, and it's very close to each other, just a couple of 100 meters, but still as soon as it's in the terrace you feel it's more fuller.
それぞれの畑の部分を混ぜて作ってるんでしょう。このなんちゃらテラス線、レステラス線、レステラス線、レスがあれかだから初めて分かったそういうの。レス土壌が。
Was?
saw it on the mountain, but again, this is the soil.
less.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So and it's very, very fine. It's like a very fine powder. This is what we have in this restaurant now. But I guess you're already familiar with the less. But if you want, you can touch it, or it's very, very fine.
So it's fine enough to be carried by wind. And Löss is from the Alps, where it was by the glaciers, by the ice. It was, it came down from the mountains. So it's a lot of chalk, limestone, and then the wind blew in our area, and it's very fine. But if it's laying on a big hill, it becomes very stable, and you can dig the wine cellars straight inside without any support. So that's the reason why all the cellars are not in the village, but at the mountain, because it was very easy and cheap to build the cellars into the Löss.
Very smooth.
Actually, I also use it for face mask. Put it here and then let it dry, and then like a peeling, put it down. It's used in medicine for skin, and that's also for skin and also for your digestion system. If you drink it with water, it's good for your digestion or for your face. And I use it for the face also. So maybe the Löss makes you also beautiful from the inside, from the Löss. I love face masks, I have to say.
Machen wir 21 und 22.
Frage einfach.
ロとレの間ぐらいの発音で言ってるけど、ともまたちょっと違うよね。
パラパラじゃなくて。
パラパラじゃなくて、とても決めがたなのがいい。フェイスパウダーもいってない。
Ich glaube, Sie kennen die. Ich glaube, Sie kennen die 21 Jahre.
Wir haben 22 am
だからあれだよ。向こうにで大学教授っていろいろあるじゃん。それと同じなんじゃないですって言ってもいろいろあるんだよ。ですだかロスだか。
For the Premier Cruise, we have prepared 22. But if you want, we can also taste 21 and 22.
No, it's okay, 22.
Also at the moment on the market is 21, and 22 vintage will officially be released in September this year.
Okay. It's difficult.
It's very, I see.
Too long.
This is meant to be like a tourist map, a tour guide, where you can write and circle the vineyards, and then it's also written on it. So we thought, like number 1 we tasted this, number 2 Moosburgerin, and then like circle it, and then you know what you did. But it's very difficult. The name.
But you're doing very good. We don't. Moosburg is a monastery in Bavaria, in Germany, and they had they produced the wine in our village. So that's why the vineyard is named after a German monastery. So it was planted by monks. And Moosburgerin is also at Steingraben, and Moosburgerin is above Steingraben.
だから修道ドイツのから来た修道士がなんか開墾したからムースっていうのがそのモネストの修道士。だからso that's why history, the monastery from the Germany, the cultivate this vineyard.
Exactly.
So that's why that you are close.
Also, this is the female side for female, because our mother said we have two Premier Crus, we have Grüne Veltliner, Spiegel, the next one, and our mother said that Spiegel is always the most straight one, the strong one, and is the masculine, and Moosburgerin is more gentle, more feminine. Yeah.
Okay.
So she wanted to have the end. So at the end of the word, the en Moosburgerin is in German. It makes the word female.
Okay.
So it's a female vineyard. And our mother wanted to additionally show that the wine is the female side of the winery. It's like in Spanish when the word ends with a, it's female, in German it's in.
And this is now here, the Moosburgerin.
Okay. I write on the one, two, three. Later, can you give me?
If you want, you can also have your own.
That was the idea, like that you go here and then here and then here and then here. Yeah, not good eyes for this card. Davon habe ich gemeint, dass wir das einkürzen müssen, weil das kann niemand lesen.
Wir können die Namen auch raus vergrößern. Weil wir haben auch so eine Box.
So here we have also whole berry pressing and late harvest, 1 year on the lees, 1 year in the bottle. Yeah. No.
And this is Spiegel 20.
So Grüne Veltliner.
That's where we also visited the vineyard with the old wines, where we make the Selection Massal. Our dass wir die Klone für unsere anderen gefahren waren, also So we have the two terraces, the young one and the old one. The young one is now 10 years old, approximately. The old one is around 45. And it was curious because in the first 2 years, the young terrace produced the better quality. Now for the last, I think, 3 or 4 vintages, it was always the old wines. But there's, I think, in the vintage 16 or 17, in 1 year the new ones were a little bit better, but then the old ones were always taking over.
In the hot years, the old vineyard produced very few grapes. And I think that due to the warm weather, the few grapes were a bit too overripe. And the young ones had more grapes, and therefore they were a bit more elegant and less heavy, more fruity. And now we adapted the vineyard work, and now the older one is an advantage again. I think because of the higher yield, the younger was in advance.
But we produce every year from these two terraces, normally 3 or 4 different harvests and wines, And Spiegel is then a result of either only taking one, which happens a few years, or in some years we blend between these 4 separate Spiegel batches. So in Spiegel we put a lot of effort in the harvest.
Sehr gut.
It's also, we bottled the wines at Easter a month ago, and it's the first time that we taste the wines since the bottling. So we're also just talking a little bit because they always taste very different in the cellar, and then when you taste them at home for the first time, it's always a new expression. Yeah. Super.
Did you already have the chance to taste a lot of 22 Premier Crus from Austria?
As said at another one?
Other wineries from Austria?
22? No.
22?
22. Yeah. Just, yes.
Yeah.
From the bottle to the 22.
Okay. Yeah.
At Setza, the 2 items from the Plumik La and from the tank.
Yeah. Okay.
Just the 2 items.
Spiegel and Moosburgerin, they're both Premier Cru, but Spiegel will become Grand. No? Premier Cru, Grand Cru, yeah. Like quite sure.
It's but I think it will take another 10 years for Grand Cru to be established in Austria. But I also think Spiegel and Wieland. Maybe Vorarlberg, but Spiegel and Wieland.
Yeah.
Spiegel, the Wieland.
And the name Spiegel is very common in Austria. In all regions you find Vineyard Spiegel. The name, genau, because historically the best vineyard sites in the region were always Spiegel, exactly. So that's why you have in Dreisental Spiegel, you have in Wagram region Spiegel, Kremstal region Spiegel is always the best sites of the region, Spiegel. And then it's easy, if you don't know the region so well, look for Spiegel. Yeah.
見ることができるでしょう。大体そのバーグダムでもどこでも一番いい畑のところをシュピーゲルって名前をつけるんです。
Yeah, Spiegel is mirror. Mirror. Mirror, yeah, because it's reflecting the light, it's shining, it's
the brightness.
The brightness, exactly, yeah, very good brightness, yeah.
There's also another theory because the Danube River was the ancient border of the Roman Empire, and there's also the theory that at these sites, which are now called Spiegel, were watchtowers with big mirrors, and they were giving signals if the enemies would approach. That's why that's also a theory why there could be a Spiegel at certain points along the Danube.
Okay.
But yeah, we don't know what is true. But Agnes hers is also from the root of the word, so it makes a little more sense. But the historic root is also a possibility.
So wine number 5 is Riesling Ziertnerin.
So Riesling Zentnerin would be Appellation Village with a liquid. So we have the single vineyard on the label, but the focus is on the village wine.
Ah, village wine. Okay. 何ハスミなんですか？
いいよ、前はブルーか。ボトルだったんだけど。まあこんな感じのことだった。
まあこっちの方がなんか高級感あるからね。なんか突然他のこっちなんかいいワインがさこっちの色なのに突如この色だったらさ。これか。
You see the wine now here. See the Tenerife, you see it's very close to the village, and due to the color, light color, so it's flat on the flat lands again. Yeah. See here Tenerife. And Seehead, it's very difficult to pronounce. Seehead means the 10th part. In ancient times, the farmer had to pay the 10th part of the harvest as a tax. And the tax for this winery always came from this vineyard. So this is the old taxation vineyard for the emperor. That's Seehead Tenerife.
なんか税金がなんか 10% かかってて、でなんかこの畑にしたらなんか工程がすごい量をしたかな。This Riesling is also the Rose West
It's a mix.
Mix.
So you have Zentnerin at the flat area, and if you stand at Zentnerin and look at the mountain, you look up at Wieland on the one side, Steingraben on the other side, and Spiegel in the middle. So everything blended together. So less gravel, stone, but also because it's in the flat area, a little bit of black earth and river sediment. It's a blend of all
流れて
different.
くるからね、下平地だからこうジャラジャラジャラジャラ。まあまあじゃあスタンダードランクだけど、いいところだよね。なんかまあ
いろんな畑のミックスで。
But it's impressive that you felt the difference, that it's not less. Because from the style wise it's very different. Because of the gravel and the stone. It's good that you also tasted that.
でけえ石がつってる畑ここだ。
ビーランドこれ
ミックスね。少しのレスと大きめにしてこれ後でいい。
まあそうそう大きなレスは必ずあるんだけど。
あ、じゃあこれが間違ってた。
こっち側のでかい石がこれがあるようなんです。ほぼ一緒。
俺のメモが間違ってた。
As the next we make Wieland. Normally Wieland would be the last one, but Steingraben has a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of sugar, so we make Wieland. Both have a little bit of residual sugar.
Wieland would then also become Grand Cru. It's for sure our oldest, in general one of our oldest vineyards, and very massive soil again. It's a very luxurious site, very warm, well protected from the wind from 2 terraces, so like a round, warm microclimate. So we have really great ripeness on the Riesling, very low yield, a lot of aromatics, and always a little share of botrytis in the wine, but very minimal influence to the wine. But as it's typical for this vineyard to have botrytis, we are working with the botrytis in the wine.
And we are very optimistic that Wieland is going to be Grand Cru. It was in the last 10 years, it was 2 times chosen best cuisine of Austria from the most important Austrian critic.
The last vintage from Wieland 21 was the first wine in Kremstal in the history ever that got 100 points.
Oh.
Very first time ever. Normally only Wachau region got high or red wines get, and this year Wieland 100 points.
Congratulations.
For an Austrian wine magazine, Falstaff magazine.
レディーがちょっとね。
Stell mal die Moosbrücke an.
口にあったの残ったのがあまりにもうますぎてなんだこれって見たらリーランドだからなんか自分の好きなテイストが何がゆえなのか知りたくて畑に行ってって言ったらやっぱり石だった石のfor the less loss. It's a very fine powder, but the background, Vimma Chavanese, we saw the rest.
Yeah.
The name is the same, but the different character. Just see the more little bit more the just looking and connecting the taste. The background, the rest is much more water keep. So looks like.
And when you see the little bit of the color of the less, there's different shares of lime, of chalk. When it's very yellow, you have a little chalk and a little bit more humus.
Fertile earth.
Top earth, top soil mixed in when it's yellow, and when it gets more whiter and brighter, more chalk, more limestone, but less fertile. And our terraces are a little bit less fertile. So
more chalk and the connecting the limestone. I can understand.
But also within our village, the more east you are, like in the direction of Hans, it gets more yellow, more fertile, and our western vineyards are more chalk. The difference is not very big, but you can see it in the color of the mountain.
But still, at Hans and all the löss can keep water very, very well. And all of the löss can store water and also heat very well. So if you have very little water, little rain, the little rain will have sticks in the earth and does not flow away. So it's very good for wine cultivation. If you have just stone or gravel, then the water is washed out and away, and for the rest the water stays. That will be very lucky for us.
なるほど。成り立ちが違う、ちょっと違うですね。向こう黄色いのも違う。違うんですよ。だからトゥルゴニで、ね、だから結局石灰岩土壌に近いコネクトして、それが削り取られてこういうパウダー状になっちゃってる。Very nice.
Thank you. Do you when tasting, do you feel similarities between background wines and our wines?
And I can this time I am very happy to find out why taste is different. Of course, you have the completely different position. I don't know what to say. The positions, almost the south or the southeast. But positioning is different, completely different, and the same the rest lost, but originality of the material is not the same. So it's connecting the taste and producer the philosophy.
I see.
Yeah. So the Chelny. For his wine taste is more wildly and nature and more I don't know what to say. The more wild taste. Good way, and not rough. And,
you mean wild?
Wild, the mountains and the animals, and it's very connecting. So, and each grape variety is very straight to show, but very good harmony and very gently, and Septa and here is a completely different way.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
The more clean and pureness, and we can taste that automatically attitude is more higher, and so image is Burgundy. Burgundy.
It's very interesting because it's so close. It's just a couple minutes from Hans to our place, but it's so many differences.
So many differences. It's very surprising by car, the GPS. They said only 15 minutes or 10 minutes.
It's
very close.
Yeah, very close. Everything is close. Yeah, and then to your hotel in Krems or Martin?
Krems.
10 minutes again by car, so very close.
No.
Are you sleeping at the restaurant, Bacher? Or?
Yeah.
Martin. 15 minutes. Steingraben. But Steingraben has in 2022 we ferment everything with white yeast, and in some years Steingraben stops with the fermentation. So we have a few grams of sugar.
これないよね。
上から3つ目。
これだから生徒君のメモは合ってるんじゃないの？さっきの B 欄はレスにあるから、こっちが石ばっか。わかんない。
レス道場リモンと同じじゃリコ石って書いてある。
そう砂利だ。砂利とこの丸っこいのと。
そうね、ちっこい。だから、大丈夫。
And here the name tells it all. Stein is stone, and Graben is valley. So it's a stony valley, and it's the same. It's above Zehetnerin, where it's stony material, and above Zehetnerin is Steingraben with also stone. So we have in the mountain. We have one batch with stone, and it goes like this. Only very small parts is with stone, because there used to be a river, and the river is now gone, but the riverbed, the stones are still here, and it's from Steingraben to Zehetnerin. The roads of the stone of the rivers are here.
And you saw when we drove from Steingraben to Spiegel that the stones just stopped where the river wasn't.
いので、このシュタイングラウンドちょっとリゾみたいな味が。砂利が丸いから温かい味っていうかな。
Ich weiß gar nicht, ob der Rotwürstchen nochmal Burger kosten. Rechtens haben sie Süßwein. Rechtens haben sie Süßwein. Sie haben den Chardonnay 14. Jeden Temperas lesen. Wir werden haben wir auslesen, als wir da, das hätte man nicht.
Ich werde wahrscheinlich so außen.
Wir können fragen. Wir können uns fragen und dann kann einer von uns beiden. Was sehe ich da?
Könntest du eine Flasche? Eine Fensterflasche mitnehmen? Silvana oder?
Marco, Silvana.
Silvana.
Marco.
Ja.
Rotwürstchen.
So we would then, if you like, taste Silvana, Neuburger, Rote Veltliner. Or is anything else you are particularly interested in?
シルバネールとシルバーナ
Was ist die Kreuzung? Rote Veltliner. If you cross, was?
Ja, Neuburg. Nein, warte, Silvana und Rotwürstchen gibt Neuburg. Ja,
Yeah. So this is very old Austrian variety, Silvana, and Rote Veltliner, very old Austrian variety. If you cross it, father, mother, then it's Neuburger. These are one of the oldest Austrian varieties, and we always had Rote Veltliner. From our mother, we have Neuburger vineyards, and now we said, okay, it's an old Austrian family, so we have to plant Silvana. It's very rare. In the whole of Austria, only 0.1% of the whole is Silvana. So it's, for comparison, that would be around 20 hectares in the whole of Austria. And our winery, just to give you an idea of the size, has 16 hectares of grapes. And whole of Austria only has 20. So it's very, very, very rare, this variety.
じゃあほとんどマントラーホーフしかないという。
eigentlich sollten wir den Weißwein schon holen, weil dann haben wir die sind ja nicht drin, weil ich ihnen
Ja, ich hole den falschen. Nein, nicht wahr. Dann falschen und holen.
でもここにグリューナーシルバーナーって書いてある。
Ja.
On the grape variety is Silvana. Grüner Silvana. In France, the Alsace, they produce Silvaner.
It's the same.
It's the
also
same.
grüner Silvaner. Was ist
Soll ich dann den Fotiger auch holen?
Alles das no Silvaner.
Are you interested in orange wine?
オレンジワインに興味はありますかって。Yes.
Yeah. Agnes is driving to the cellar because we forgot a sample, and she's also bringing. I forgot the sample. She takes it, but and she also brings an orange wine. Silvana is an Austrian variety. It was very important till 100 years ago. Then it nearly disappeared, but it's still in Alsace and Germany in Franken. So it went from Austria to Germany and Alsace. And we planted the wines we imported from Alsace. So it's, I think, 1/3 wines from Austria, 1/3 wines from Germany, and 1/3 wines from Alsace. But it's very little production. It's to keep the variety alive in Austria.
今なんかドイツとアルザスと、まあ、オーストリアぐらいにしかなくて、まあ100年ぐらい前にほとんど消えてたってけど、アルザスから品種を持ってきて、またその守るために。
守るもんがいっぱいあるな。
うん。
And then we have Neuburger.
Yeah.
The wine is called Neuburger Hommage. It's an homage to our grandfather, who was the first one to plant Neuburger in Austria. The variety, they don't exactly know, but they think that it's from Romania. So down the Danube, there was in Romania in the middle, there was in the Middle Ages there was a German colony in Romania, in Siebenbürgen, and then when communism came, they were forced away. But they think that Neuburger is the local variety from this old disappeared colony, and then it has it found a second home in Austria. And for my mother's family, the variety was always very important because they were the first one to cultivate it. And when my mother married into the Maントラーホーフ, she insisted that we also plant Neuburger.
Okay.
So we have it at the winery for 30 years. So my parents married in 1992, and this was the year where we planted Neuburger.
In Switzerland, they have Hommage Rouge, Hommage, yeah.
But Hommage is just title, it's just name. The variety is only Neuburger. And they say typically for Neuburger is that it tastes and smells like nuts, walnut, and it makes a kind of a good creaminess. And in Austria we sell it especially with asparagus. Now it's springtime, it sells very well.
アスパラガスって
さっきのつって
さっきのダイスキノコだね。これなんか
The village.
あ、ビラス。
寒いね。
そうか。
And which restaurants did you visit in Vienna?
Vienna is no ね。ウィーンで何食べた？
ホイリゲ。
一番最初の日って何したっけ？
ベトナム給仕。
The first day, just arriving at the Vienna, very late at night.
So no food?
Not so open.
Yeah.
Just, and yesterday, like Hoilige? Yeah, but center of Vienna.
Yeah. Heiliger is very typical, very classic. Yeah, Austria is a very relaxed country. So everything after 10 o'clock, everything is closed.
ベトナムっていう。
The first day is ベトナム言ったけどな。
But the restaurant we are visiting today, so in Austria we don't have Michelin. Next year they start in Austria, so only in Vienna there is Michelin. And the restaurant we're visiting today has no stars, but is considered the best restaurant in Austria. And 2 weeks ago he got an award because they asked all the Michelin chefs in Vienna and Salzburg who they think is the best cook in Austria. So they asked the chefs who the best chef is, and they chose Bacher, so the restaurant we're going to do. So the other chefs consider him the best chef of Austria. And it's a cool fusion between French and Austrian cuisine. I'm already looking forward to it because we don't go one time a year, and this time of year we go with you.
Thank you.
Rote Veltliner, you had Kreimelberg with Setzer maybe. So we also produce Rota. For us we have a couple Rote Veltliner, and Reisenthal is our most important Rote Veltliner. The others we do is different stars, but within Austria, my grandfather, for my father's grandfather, was the first winemaker to produce Rote Veltliner in the 1920s. And we were for 70 years the only winery to produce Rote Veltliner. And all Rote Veltliner wines today in Austria are clones, are selections of our wines.
Oh, really?
So without my grandfather, the variety would have disappeared. It was always considered a very difficult variety, but especially now with climate change, the variety is very good in being resistant to heat and dryness. So it's a little bit more difficult in the vineyard, but now it gets planted again. And within Austria, we are very well known for the Riesling. So Wieland is very important in Austria, and Rote Veltliner. So in Austria, people come to us to buy Rote Veltliner and Riesling, and then they take Grüner as well. But,
それ一番最初に栽培したじゃん、おじいちゃんが。でみんな今そいつのクローンを使って。
そうそうでなんか一回おじいちゃんの時代からロータベルトリーナーがここに始まったんじゃなくて、なんかみんなやめちゃって絶滅もう何もなくなっちゃったのをおじいちゃんがまた植え直して復活させた。だからオーストリア全土がここから今ロータベルトリーナの苗が始まってる。
And Setzer is also famous for Rote Veltliner. There are maybe 3 or 4 wineries in Austria which are very well known, and Setzer is one of them. And 10 years ago, when Marie told her grandparents that we are a couple, her grandparents were very happy because 2 big Rote Veltliner families were connecting. And Hans also makes Rote Veltliner, and Hans had made the achievement, and Hans made this Luftbier, which was very good. We have one of his bottles always on display as appreciation. Is it over?
違う。何か猫か。
いや、わかんないけど。
今まで全然鼻水出てない。
あ、本当だ、ちっちゃくリス。
の猫だ。
あ、違うか、これは葉っぱか。見えたんだ。見間違いでした。
じゃあタイヤコード買って帰ろう。
俺も買って帰ろう。
もらったな、割れちゃったから。
もう頭パンクしそうなんですけど。
何
眠い。頭がパンクする。
あ、眠いな。
いや、じゃあ眠いし、頭がパンクする。
頭ね、ついてくる。母さんはベースの穴埋めをしてるけど、生徒君はゼロのゼロ、アンダーゼロだ。
今構築中。
母さんもゼロだし。でも今、早朝が11時だから約。眠いない。
The next one is also Rote Veltliner. It's called Ungut.
なんかラベルがキラキラしてる。
And it's Burgundy style. So, Reisenthal is classic old school Austria, Rote Veltliner, and Ungut is Burgundy style refused Austrian oak.
ああ、オーストリアンコーク。バリーナバリー。
Yeah, Barrique and 500 liter. So 50-50. And Ungut is Premier Cru, but I'm not allowed to write it on the label because in Austria Premier Cru is only for Riesling and Grüner Veltliner.
ああ、そう
So
なの。
this is a Premier Cru, and the name Ungut means unpleasant because it's so much wind, so much sun that it's unpleasant to work there.
Ah, okay. The hard work for
Yeah.
the.
Exactly. So it was always called the unpleasant vineyard. But it's, in my opinion, one of the best vineyards in the village.
ウングートって心地よくないって意味なんだけど、それはもうとっても働くのが大変な畑だから。プレミアクリューなんだけど、オーストリア政府はクリューの取りすぎしか認めてないからかけない。Why the label is only this one, the color is
Because it's the only wine where we work with wood, with oak. And so we want to that the people know it's a little bit of a different style.
ああ、これだけ樽を使ってるから、500ミリ、500リットル。
50%
あ、500リットル。
And 2 barriques.
あ、ちょっと。
So 1,000 liter total, 500 and 2.
あ、500ミリットル樽の2樽のみ。生産。500リットル。
Agnes and I and me, we love Burgundy wines. So we wanted to try if Rote Veltliner can also be produced in a little bit of a Burgundy direction. We drink a lot of Burgundy. So it's small production. It's a passion project, and Rote Veltliner is very exciting because it can be a very round and creamy wine like Reisenthal, But if you harvest a little earlier and work with infused oak, it can become a very salty minerality wine, which is cool that the variety can do both. Die eine habe ich schon gekriegt.
そうだね、角が絵だと同じ感じの誰に売れねえみたいな無理やり溜め込むしかない。
Machen wir zuerst die Noten mit Giller oder?
Können wir beide einschenken?
Ja, machen wir dann zuerst die Noten mit Giller, wenn wir gerade bei der Giller sind.
Ja, wir können beide.
Do you want to taste the natural wines together or after?
Together. It was two glasses.
Okay. So the first glass is orange water Giller. This is a very cloudy bottle. Normally it's more clear. Ein drittes Glas.
Warum?
Weil er eins noch irgendwie das hat.
Für dich, schau.
Muskat. Muscat Blanc à Pédigra, or in German, Gelbe Muscatelle. Jetzt wird's gut,
Können die Schüsse nicht draußen gucken?
The labels are not final.
Not final.
We are still waiting for the delivery of the labels. And the natural wines we now call Jenseits, which is in German has two meanings. It means on the other side, and also on the other side in terms of the afterlife. So the idea was to play a little bit, to let people know that it's a natural wine, it's a different style, so on the other side of the winemaking spectrum, but also a little bit a play with
the holistic approach in winemaking, and also the cloudy one is Rote Veltliner, and Rote Veltliner, our classic style, comes from Reisental, and we have a new old vineyard which we rented, and it's on the other side of the valley, Reisental. So it's Jenseits, it's the other side of Reisental, which also refers to the location of the vineyard. So it has a couple of meanings. And as you see, no filtration, yeast still there.
Natural wine で、なんかこの
No sulfur.
書いてあるドイツ語はなんか違う種類みたいな、その違うサイド、another side で違う、その先には違う世界みたいな。
Gerade noch.
Der hat der Otto gemacht, einfach so bärige Runde. Das ist kein Problem.
Nein.
Aber ist ja noch weiter dick hinein.
Also du bist die Flasche nicht geschüttelt.
Also wenn du jetzt nach... Nein, das war schon sehr trocken.
For these wines, the focus is not on the vintage, but on the production, like how it is produced. And for this year, we have celebration of 20 years organic certification. And so now we decided to take even a next step. And with this year, we're starting with biodynamic production. And that's also the moons in the cycle of the biodynamic working. So this product is then the statement for 20 years organic, first year of biodynamic, and that we try to work with moon circles and more with the nature and closer.
月のサイクルに従って
うん
仕事をするから、まあ、ビオディナミとかそうだし、でなんかオーガニックなやり方でやって20周年っていうのとナチュラルワインビオディナミ始めたなんか記念日、ヴィンテージを書かず。
And also for a cloudy wine, the cloudy sky with the moon is also a nice integration of the label. Do you have a mock-up of the new label on your phone maybe? Probably not.
Schauen wir mal.
Ja. Und der Outlook, der Prepress?
Aber ich habe letztens jetzt viel durchgelöscht, was ich nicht gelesen habe.
ここに月の公表に従ってやってるし、まあ、20年の周年、そのオーガニックでやってる20周年とビオディナミ。オーストリアのなんかその始まりの月の公表に従って農作業をするっていう、この日にボト詰めしちゃダメとか、まあなんかうちの生産者は大抵それでやったりはしてるんです。
Is this also a style you like?
Yeah.
You also?
Yeah.
You can be totally honest with us.
Yeah.
That's a new. We are new experimenting with these styles. And the second one, it's a bit clearer. This is the muscatella, but the same process of making, same way. Measuring for 3 weeks, I think. Very warm fermentation. And then, when did we bottle it? Yeah.
3 Monate, 3 Wochen,
And then, ich wollte es pressen.
We bottled it at the first spring full moon. And but we also we want natural wine that's without sulfur, but we don't want it to be oxidized. So we press right at the end of fermentation and go from the open vat for fermentation into a steel tank to be reductive to don't get oxygen in the wine. So both wines are no sulfur, but still not oxidized. So they're not. That's the reason why they're not orange in color. Du musst doch mal, wenn die Etiketten da sind, die ganzen Naturweine aus dem Wien ziehen und dann wieder.
まあでも参加させたくないからなんかそういう作り方をしてるんで、かっこいい。
So now we are done with all the dry wines. If we have sweet wines, 2 new ones. If you want, we can also taste them outside if you're already a little.
ここちょっと寒いから。
これで上代3000円だったら、絶対1万円コート。絶対これ5000円ってことはないよね、上代。もっと高いよ。
行くって外に。
From Riedsteindl, which is a cru in Wieland. But with sweet wine, we are not allowed to write Premier Cru. So we choose the little.
B ランドなんだ。
Oops. Oh, thank you.
それはだからこれはベーレンアウスレーゼのちっちゃいやつで、
ああ、
だからもう僕は作ってないんだ。
うん
でこっちはリースリングのアウスレーゼ。
So Auslese is the level under Berneslese. So Berneslese is 25% sugar in the grapes, and Auslese is only 20%. I don't have the back label yet, but it's 10% alcohol, or 9.5, and around 80 grams of sugar.
そうだ、そこまで甘くない。
まあでも
うん。うん、いいいい。超うまい。
甘いやつ3つ今
うまい、うまい。
うまい。
めっちゃうまい。うん。
Totale Spaß.
お値段がどうなのか。
It's not bottled yet. It's bottled yet, but labeled yet. So we're waiting for label. And then
okay.
I think in 1 month or so we can.
I think the label should come next week, but who knows?
うまい。
うまい、超うまい。
美味しい。
パンとかケーキ、なんかね、食べなかったけど、さっきにあったパンみたいなのも合いそうです。
Noch schneller getrunken, schon kommen wir weg. Ja,
It's very nice.
Thank you. Our father produced from Auslese from Riesling a couple of years ago, and it was always very special wine. And the last time he did it was 2007. It was very legendary for us, this wine, 2007, and 2023 was the possibility that we can also produce this Auslese. It's it's a part from Wieland, but it's a part of Wieland, but it's a vineyard within the vineyard, and it's called Steindl, like stone, little stone, but it's part of the Wieland vineyards.
It's the terrace where we look down, where I said it's shaped like this because of the big stone.
Stone, yeah.
These two terraces are Steindl.
Steindl. This is a 2023?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Auslese is quite difficult to produce because often you are already in Berneslese. So you have to harvest on a very specific day to not become too sweet.
Okay.
甘すぎくなっちゃう。
甘すぎならない時期に収穫しないとならないから難しいタイミング。
You have extra card etiquette.
We are always arguing because I guess when you label by hand, it's very difficult for the sweet wine label to be straight.
The straight.
And I just said
I
Agnes,
find it's
Agnes.
perfectly straight. Where is it not straight?
手で貼ってるらしくこれ
Straight.
ラベルこれはじゃない。
それは
斜めに貼ってないかどうかすごいいつも見ると。 Ice wine.
I'm not allowed to talk about this wine
Yeah.
because it was very hard work, very cold, and I was having dinner with you in Japan, and Agnes did all the work.
Yeah, I know. He always checking the data.
Yeah. It's very exciting because it only happens every 10 years that we can produce it. And Josef was exactly not here in this time, and I was nervous and always, Josef, check the weather, it's gonna be cold and it's snowing and
I was also very nervous, but I didn't have to do the work.
ぶどうが凍ってそうできるで糖度がどんどん凝縮するんだけどちょうどこの収穫の時になんかそういうタイミングにならないと作れないワインだからなんか何十年に1回の場合もあるしなのに日本に来てる時にそのアイスワイン状態になってるのができるかもってなったからお姉ちゃんが前どういう状態これで収穫していいかとか。
it was harvested on the 4th of December, and it was
12月。
very, very cold. It was minus 12 degrees Celsius, so freezing cold.
凍るほど
And
寒
we
い。
harvested Grüne Veltliner. It's a beautiful terrace, and the grapes were perfectly healthy, no botrytis at all, just very healthy Grüne Veltliner grapes, but with low sugar and high acidity. And then we did a very fast harvesting by hand, 12 people, and then we did a pressing for 8 hours in the wine press because it's so cold that it was like ice cubes, and it took very long to get the juice from the grapes. And the first press was 8 hours, the second press was 6 hours, so almost 2 days of only pressing to get the ice wine from the grapes.
And to put it in,
凍ってるからちょっとずつ垂れてるから8時間はかかると。
and the vineyard is 1 hectare, and if you produce ice wine from this 1 hectare, you only make 500 liters.
おお、1ヘクタールから500ミリリットル
Normally
しか
from
取れ
1
ない。
hectare you can harvest
500リットル。
あ、1ヘクタール
500 liters.
は500リットル。
And if we would produce normal wine, it would be 4,000 liters. So it's very concentrated.
So from the whole presses, only 20% of the grapes become juice, and the rest is ice and berry. So very little extract.
なんかちょっと私の携帯そこの緑のポケットから。
はい。
Aber soll er nicht bedrückt sein?
Ich finde das Zitrus immer so. Apfelstrich.
Yeah, he's in there.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that was such a special night. Wow.
こんな
Oh, they can also show.
今年できたいんだよ。僕も帰った後にマイナス12度。
Yeah. So this was in the middle of the night, all dark.
All dark.
This
The
harvester,
snow?
this is the snow was till here, and we with light torchlights, and then the sunrise, and this is all snow, whole mountain full of snow. It is the sunrise and snow. This is the berries, the hands frozen.
手は凍っちゃ
And
う。
this is the harvest team, all friends. Here you see the frozen cell, like every crystal in the grape, and this is how it looked on the.
おお。
Yeah.
でもすごいいっぱいだ。
This is the vineyard, lot of snow.
いやこんな大変な仕事して作ったのまずいとか高いとかさ、お前殺すぞって話だよね。もう
動画撮ってる。
あ、ごめんなさい、動画になんかこんなの4万でも5万でももうなんかもうだってこんな全部農薬使わないで自然に。美味しい。
I said I will always do it once in my career as a winemaker because it's too much work and too much excitement.
Okay.
Did you ask if they want to taste other sweet wines?
Ja, klar. Back.
No.
No, kann man.
So, would you like to taste the other sweet wines as well? I guess you know.
No, it's okay.
It's okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I think you have
Do
thought
you
about
want
something
this?
else.
Yeah. I want to buy the because
You don't need to buy. You get one.
because
Hier ist nämlich eine Flasche, die ich im Koffer mitgenommen habe, die ist runtergefallen.
yeah.
You brought the bottle and
Because of the paper bag is broken.
then you that was your fault with the paper bag. Oh, pity. Did you bring the apricot or the old brandy?
Because we went, the solution to import it was difficult, so I wanted to.
なんかオーストリアってなんかハイアルコールを輸出するのになんかこうちょっと制限がいろいろあるらしく、その成分分析は取れるんだけど、なんだかとなんだかに関してはダメだかな。
日本も輸入するのに大変よ。
知ってる。パキになっちゃう。
2本ぐらいサンプルで取られちゃう。
ね、いつもそうだよね。まあ初めての時は必ずだもんね。
だから手で持って帰るしかない。
売る分だけね。
いやまあそれに、そうそう、それにそんなにバカバカ売れないから。Thank you. This is the
apricot.
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 Eau de vie.
Pardon?
Eau de vie って、brandy.
Brandy.
Yeah. So our mother is from Wachau Valley, and Wachau Valley it's traditional to have apricot trees. And then she married her father, and she said, for marriage present, I want an apricot garden. And so right over there in the village, we have a big apricot garden, and we are producing apricot brandy, schnapps. We are producing jam, marmalade, and in some years also juice.
なんかお母様がアプリコットで有名な地域から嫁いできたから、私の結婚のプレゼントにだからお父様にアプリコットあんずの畑を作ってくれって言ったんだって、自分のその家系のあれだから、ふるさと。
It's a long time since I last tasted apricot brandy.
美味しい。
すごい。
But it's nice that you can still feel the fruit on the palate and in the nose.
そのノーズイズ、すごいよね。香りだってあんずだよ。
ね。
He said it is difficult to import. You are difficult to export, and also in Japan, through custom, if we can import high alcohol, the producer can ready for all the documents, but always custom man, the government, take off the 2 bottles from the 1 case. Yeah, you can imagine the cost and benefit is.
Yeah.
And then it's too complicated. So many documents and so on. So sometimes another company import the focus for the only high alcohol. The one container arrive in Japan, and they cannot totally through the customs. They have to throw away. So it's very risky.
But why?
I don't know. So high alcohol and the juice is also that it's very difficult.
Juice?
Yeah. When yeah, we import from the Normandy from in France. But it's needed to the many documents. When cap, how to cap it, can or cap, how to do that, when. Like it's okay, you can put on the not exactly the time and so on, then, but we need documents.
I mean, I understand if it's so strict for schnapps and alcohol, but why for juice?
Yeah.
Mystery.
Yeah, mystery. Yeah, mystery.
But Japanese whiskey is very popular in Europe.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Very, very popular.
Liquor, especially. I think I have one bottle of Nika 12.
Maybe the government keeps the money from the big companies or Japanese.
Or they want to
Yeah,
drink
yeah.
the alcohol themselves. Or to
Yeah,
choose.
yeah, yes. When I talk to the customer, no way. So you just only the drinking that. So they said no, you don't have to talk to the customer. はい。
試しに輸入してみようか。
まあでもなんか書類ができないって言ったんだよね。こっちもなんかオーストリアも厳しいっつってなんか輸出が。
いえ、ジュース。
ああジュースね。
いや、
Selbstkliniker.
聞けばいいね。この書類が必要だって。
But anyway, I will send you the for example the document for juice. If you can ready, and we can import. Continue. Just only once. That it's difficult.
Maybe.
Maybe. You have to get the money to the government.
Yeah.
Under the table.
Or maybe together with a bottle
With a
of old brandy. So you're handling the paperwork?
No, my brother. I have the younger brother.
Yeah.
And he management through the custom. And so we send I import and sales, of course, and management. But my brother is management for through the custom. But
Yes.
he is gentry. That's all.
Okay.
Me,
See,
if I doing the fighting, so
so your brother is very
yeah,
patient.
yeah. Okay, and so.
Yeah. You know, it's the same. Josef is very patient with whole paperwork, and I just see the paper. No, Josef will do it. Okay. No.
So this was distilled in 1991, and then something between, we don't know exactly, but around 15 to 20 years in barrel.
Oak barrel.
My father didn't write the time on the barrel, so it's somewhere between 15 and 20.
Okay. 15 to 20ってだいぶ違うけどなんか。This is of course a grape.
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 Veltliner, grüner
Grüner
Veltliner.
Veltliner.
Grape, yeah.
And it's from the barrel, so 50% not diluted.
So it's cask strength, no water added, and we say we're gonna do it with whiskey. If the customer like, he can add drops of water, but here it's straight from the barrel with no water added at all. So when you can handle it, drink it so strong. If you want, you can add a bit of water.
But we, as a family, we like.
輸入できないやつ。
買っていくしか。
I drink a lot of whiskey, and I like also my whiskey strong, so that's why we also.
Yeah, so I like a whiskey also. My son also.
Yeah.
I like.
So I said to I broken the. So
No, we give that away bottle.
no. We
No.
he imported by in a suitcase 12 bottles.
捕まる。捕まりはしないよ。
小林完全払い。
香りがすごい。
Ich kann ja noch einen Whisky von
一本ずつかける。
ね。
でもなんでこんなてめえ持ってきたって絶対言われる。いや自分で飲む分にはするだけど、
まあ会社がこういうことしてるからね
あまり。数が多いと何のためにこんなにね、いやお土産で一本ずつ配るんだって言い張るしかないね。
でも前回俺6本なら何も言われなかったよ。お金払って終わり。
どこが？日本？
だから前回フランスとアメリカから帰る時に6本持ってったけど、
それはワイン。
ワインとハイアルコール。
母さん台湾でショッピかなんか連行されたけどこんな感じで通関切らない申告しないでスルーしようとして、Can I use a toilet?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I'll show you.